Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran, and this is Fox RPG. So today we're going to be having a look at a bunch of Kickstarters, some which are coming out, some which are already out and I've already backed, some of which are not just Kickstarters, not just RPG stuff. We are going to have a look at some 3D printing stuff and some stuff on my mini factory. Those things are just going to be two, so we have look at two 3D printed related stuff. So before we get into the video, I just want to thank everyone for checking out the videos as usual. You know, like, comment, subscribing helps out massively. Also, if you want, you can join my Discord group. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Same with my X account. And if you're ever going to get anything on ttrpg, you can use my affiliate link if you wish. It helps out the channel a tiny bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So, about this video, we're going to be looking at, like I said, some Kickstarter stuff, some of it back, some which are coming out soon, and some 3D printing stuff, which I'm very excited for. So, first things first, we're going to be having a look at the RPG stuff, okay? Then we're going to have a section where we're going to be looking at the 3D modeled, 3D printing stuff. Every project we're going to be looking at is going to be chaptered, so you can find it down on the bar below. You know, you hover over it and everything's going to be marked. So from the time it starts to the time it ends, it goes on the next video. On the next section, I mean. So let's have a look at the following. Portal to Adventure. So this is Arduin's Portal to Adventure. My buddy Matthew Tapp, the creator of Barrows and Borderlands, is involved in this. He's also joined by Emperor's Choice. And we're also going to be having the Lost Dungeons of Shaodwdark attached to this. So with this, you're going to be getting the Barrows and Borderlands box set. You're going to get the Arduin box set. You're also going to have Blackmore, the Lost Dungeons of Shaodwdark stuff. And it's going to look something like this, which is amazing. From what I understand, we're looking at around a 50% discount value as well. I'm very excited about this. Over 800 pages long, 35 plus character classes, 65 character races, 130 plus mutations. I think it's actually more than that, but we'll find out. Or you guys will find out. 300 plus monsters, 250 plus spells, multiple critical hit and fumble tables. So, like, if anyone who doesn't know, Arduin was essentially an independent OD&D supplement, and Barrows and Borderlands is a game which has the bones of OD&D, but it's very different. But they work together very well. There's also a chart that's going to be included in this, how you can easily change things between the games and have them all on one sheet. So that's going to be amazing. This is the new character sheet down here, but I'm very excited. I'm going to be having Matthew on, I think next week, and we're going to do some possible character creation stuff. And I do believe I'm going to have all the creators involved in this later on, talking about this whole thing, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. So check it out, guys. There's going to be 5 compatible magic systems. 2 of them cover psionics in different ways. Why is this the case? Well, magic works differently in these different worlds, and they can all work together in the same game, and it's no problem at all. I played a game recently where this was the case. We have different kind of magic systems and you couldn't even tell the difference. It's very simple, very straightforward. 90 plus critical miscast possibilities, different brawling rule systems, dueling systems, 21 different planes of hell. You have lore and all this stuff, how to travel between different worlds and areas, which the whole idea of this Arduin Portal to Adventure bundle is to get people into the idea of playing the game of games, which is how the creator of Arduin, I believe it's Hargrave, played, and this is exactly how my buddy Matthew Tapp plays. So say if you want to play your OD&D game, you just play your OD&D game. There you go. If you want to go off and play Shadowdark, you can do that, no problem. You're going to create a portal and you're just going to play, and anything that happens in between those games is canon. You want to play AD&D, there you go. You want to play Hyperborea, everything is sorted. Like, it's pretty straightforward, because again, all these systems, it's not too different overall. Do a little tweak in here and there, but basically you're going to play with those systems, and everything that happens is canon, and there is ways to traverse the different portals, to different worlds through portals. So it's very interesting, and he's been doing this for since I think he's 15 or 16. Matthew has been, and he's 26 now. So it works. I've been playing with him. It absolutely works. Even all the obviously rules for aliens, time, lasers, time travel, more solo GM and stuff, which also includes political intrigue, which I'm very excited to get my hands on. 5 dungeons with over 15 plus combined levels. I think it's actually a lot more than that. 45 hexed locations across Frinham. Advanced gunnery rules based on bullet caliber, which is really cool. So I know in Barrows and Borderlands we do have black powder rifle stuff. But Arduin is going to have different calibers, because the whole idea is you will have a bunch of cowboys, aliens, robots, weird like bug people. I know it might sound like kind of gonzo, but it's not. What it is, it's weird. Everything that happens is serious in the game, makes sense between the lore and the background of everything, and it just works. It's so much fun. So you can see here there's more stuff like dark ritual details, mummy creation, lichdom, devout patron subsystem, conversion rule for chainmail style combat, and again we're going to have a compatibility guide of how to make all this stuff work. I'm very excited for this. And also Matthew put out on his channel a video about what this is. I'm going to link that in the description below so you can check it out. But excuse me, it's already have 533 views on my side since the last 4 days, so that's pretty damn cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at Before All Others. This is the ACKS Elven sourcebook, which I'm super excited for. Now I got this, I jumped on board with Before All Others. I mean, I also added By This ACKS onto this and Domain Battles. So yeah, I'm a big ACKS fan. So basically this is going to be a sourcebook for the elves. It's the same way that By This ACKS was. I just done an interview the other day with the creator, so you guys want to check that out. We talk a bit about what is ACKS, how it came to be, some of the systems involved in ACKS, and then we jump right onto his Kickstarter. So I also have that time stamped, so you can check it out. If you just want to find out stuff on the Kickstarter, you can follow that. I mean, just jump onto the correct chapter on the video. I'll link that as well, so you can just check it out. But yeah, this is really cool. So it's going to have different elven lore, different characters, how their equipment's going to work. They're going to talk about the different classes, because elven classes are going to work different to how human classes. The magic they have, domains for creating elven societies, because basically the idea of this is elves live in the woods, in the forest. They craft them carefully. They manage and maintain them. It's where they get all their food. Like animals can come in as well. For the most part, they're going to be protected because they pretty much grow everything, and it's a lot of verticality. Because again, elves don't really age; they live forever, or at least as far as we know, they live forever. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's not only a lore book; it's a system, sort of like compatibility stuff. You can use it in any OSR type game. If you want to grab A&D, play with that, you can. You have your classes, you have a magic system. Again, it talks about the forestry and elven gardening and agroforestry, as they call it here. Some warfare, different new unit stats, all this stuff, and 30 new monsters. I actually think it might be slightly more. I can't remember, because they hit a bunch of the stretch goals. So we'll have a look down at the stretch goals. Let me see. There we go. So bonus monsters, classes, monsters, class, monster. Yeah, so there's a couple more classes and monsters, I guess, tier involved. Some one-page dungeon stuff. If we get to the end here, we got the Bit of War mini tournament and the Bit of War mega tournament. I really hope it gets to at least the mini tournament. That's going to be cool, because then everyone can participate in basically the video game that's in development and influence how that battle is going to come out. But the old war between the dwarves and the elves, so that'd be fun. You know, us dwarf supremacists are very much into proving such things. But yeah, if you want to, you guys can check it out. Again, I'll link in the description below, and the video I did with Alexander. Now we have the Dark Forest. As you guys might know, I actually had a version of this, I done a video on a couple weeks back. I think maybe 2 months ago, maybe slightly more. It was like 145 pages, give or take. It is now 244 pages. I'm going to show off a little bit of the new update stuff on it. It's like you're going to have the classes were redone, the new monsters and stuff. We have more races or ancestries. All this stuff is in here. More spells and new spells added. More magic items. More monsters than what I originally had and saw. And it does get into a bit more of the world building, into the added on stuff from the book. So I'm really excited for it. We're hoping to get an interview done in the next couple weeks. It will probably be after this launches. This is going to be coming out in October. I think it's the 7th. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in October, guys. So we will have a quick look at the updated book now in 1 second. So here we talk about the different regions, 3 main regions and 3 sub regions: settlements, geography, current events, factions, different guilds, the history and lore, the different gods. Here's the bundle you can get, some 1-page dungeon stuff, DM screen. Yeah, they've added a lot on, and STLs, which I can't wait. I really want these. It's gonna be awesome. It's definitely a very unique. At first, you might think it's kind of like cutesy, trying to make a cutesy Shadowdark, and then as you can see, the art is not cutesy. Here it's like it's heroic. There's more cutesy-ish heroics, or like family, like a photo taken together. But then the card's getting darker as you go down through it, and as you can see, like this is not cutesy. It is very much Shadowdark, which is absolutely brilliant. Let's have a quick look at. This is the original one, 148 pages. So. Again, I've done a video, you can check it out if you want to know what's in this. But then we have this one. It says 125 pages, but they're all double spread. So there you go. Like, we have a lot more. I'm not going to read any of this stuff. I'm just going to have a quick like flip through as we go down. So yeah, you can see everything's sort of reworked. They've changed some of the stuff in the classes, added more stuff on. I think they've added more spells, like I said, and there's more background to the world, which is important. So, that is awesome. I cannot wait for you guys to check that out. Now, we also have Green Games Issue 1, the Dread Isle, the last Isle of the Dread Legion. Now, I am very interested in this one. I jumped on this very quickly. I think it was a day or 2 after it came out, I jumped on it. Yeah, and basically the whole idea behind this is you and your characters or your player characters have been washed up on this isle. It's overrun by orcs and other creatures of such, and you basically need to find your way around, maybe get off the island. It has a bunch of background lore and stuff in here. I backed at the PDF tier because I wasn't sure about the shipping stuff, so that might change. I can see it's a 60-page adventure zine, tables for random encounters, rumors, optional achievement tables, which is interesting, but that's something you need to keep away from your players. This creator also has a YouTube channel, which I will of course add into the description, which you can check it out. Magic boons, magic items, multiple event paths, and possible endings. And there's one thing I really like. He has like another thing, obviously 30 pieces of art. He has 15 battle maps. So we'll have a quick look at that stuff now in 1 second, guys. Purchased stock art he has here, very nice. Battle maps, and you're going to have black and white print options as well. We're going to have a look at some of the backer levels you can check out. So backer levels, you basically join the Kickstarter and you can get stuff on the pledge level. You can get the Dread Legion PDF. It includes a black and white and a red, green and blue color version of it. you can get it the black and white print only, the color print only, the bundle of the print plus PDFs, the bundle of the color print and the PDFs, a bundle of black and white plus previous works, which is going to be Fishmonger's Secret, which is I believe that's another adventure he has. I actually have that added to my pledge. Like I said, I got the PDF pack and I added the Fishmonger PDF to it as well. Again, I might change that to physical. I'll see. I need to find out more about the shipping, because it does have the shipping stuff here. Off the sides it's going to be used, but the location stuff I was not really sure. Yeah, because here it just says like different regions, but it doesn't say what these regions are here. Yeah, I need to try and figure that one out, but it looks really cool. Again, we'll have a quick look at the PDF. He sent it to me, but I'm backing anyway because he seems like a really great guy. This is his first Kickstarter, and it's already over €1,000, and that's nearly $1,200. Like he has a small YouTube channel. He gets stuff out there. He's been pushing around on Discord groups and stuff like that. He seems to be a really good guy. And here we go. Here's the 60-page zine adventure. And I love this introduction. Basically, he talks about his Shadowdark is his favorite system currently. He loves the whole OSR feel to it. But it's just done a bit different. He talks about like a little bit of the history of things and that he has with RPG games, movies, books, and there's something in here which I think everyone needs to listen. Is once you have this, it's yours to play with and use how you see fit. If you want to add something in, you add something in. This is now yours. You use it and manipulate the stuff that's in it to suit your adventure. So if you're coming along, you find your players are maybe got lucky with their rolls, or they're just very good players, they're able to take advantage of stuff. Make it more difficult, make more monsters appear, make the monsters tougher. Simple things. It's rolling extra dice. Game Master notes. Theater of the Mind. Adventure was primarily written for Theater of the Mind style play. That's how I play for the most part. Like I said, the zone is difficult. It's a default to daylight in the text. After PCs travel a few lengthy geographical areas, trigger midnight and use torch time. That's going to be out in the wilds as well, which is quite interesting. I know a lot of people don't really do that. It's going to be more point crawl type stuff for the most part. It does include battle maps as well, which we'll get to the back, because it does describe areas as well in the adventure. So you have your shipwreck shore, you have your beachside cove, your coastal bluff. But as we go down to the battle map section, these are going to be named as well. So if you have your VTT, virtual tabletop stuff, you can grab these maps, drop them in, and there you go. I don't really play with VTT stuff. Again, I do Theater of the Mind. So, he has everything in here. Again, this is the color version. It's going to be black and white. If you get the PDFs only, you get the color and black and white. But yeah, this is definitely quite an interesting little thing here. Like, it has the achievement stuff. You can get your players can get different achievements. It basically gets essentially extra stuff, gear. It could be small, simple stuff, little boons, but it is also keep that hidden, because like I think one of the kill every hostile orc encountered. So you don't necessarily want everyone to be killing everything and everyone they see, because information might be in there. But yeah, like it's a very well thought out little adventure zine, so that is awesome. Check it out, guys. I am already backed, and I will be backing more stuff as well from this creator. So now we have Crawl Deep expansion for Shadowdark. This is a big fat boy. I believe this is going to be around 500-ish pages. So let's have a quick look at this. Now, the creator of this is Taylor. I looked at his Oblivion adventure there not too long ago. I showed off the print version I got there, I believe it was last week on video. It's very good. Let's go down and meet the creators. This is Tyler. He's a great guy. I have actually several of his works. I can't think of the names on the top of my head, but one of them is like a dwarf team dungeon. It was sort of like an homage to Mines of Moria. That is very popular when it came out. I believe it's still pretty damn popular, so you guys check that out. Of course, I'll link stuff below where you can find all these Kickstarters and so on. We also have Lorian David Webb. I can't pronounce that. I'm an idiot. But anyway, this guy is one of the guys behind the Shadowdark setting Soul Blight. Now, if you haven't heard of Soul Blight, I think it was probably the first or second actual settings for Shadowdark came out, and not just like a short little thing. It is like big, expansive stuff. He first put out some stuff about Shadowdark and this world, and has created and added on to it over time. And I believe you can get the print version through Amazon. And that's something I need to get my hands on as well at some stage. But what is Crawling Deep? So he has a 500 page expansion packed with new classes, monsters, spells, GM tools to make your tabletop GM tools to make your table stranger, deadlier, and more unforgettable. 12 plus new classes, including Barbarian, Beast, Chef, Cultist, Skin Changer, and more. Advanced crawling rules, new modes of play, pages of gear, rules for recruiting hirelings. So, from what I've read from obviously the Kickstarter before, this is going to remind me of kind of like Chubby Funster's GM tools. It's going to be different, and it's going to be different as well. So you can have them both or use one or the other, but it definitely has that sort of feel. It has reality warping spells, tier 1 through 6 magic, spell creation, forbidden incantations, domains of power, stronghold, thieves' dens, dread spires, and other layers to claim. Rules for skirmish and ground warfare. They're covering everything here. GM tools and generators, random dungeons, traps, hazards, NPC creation, monsters from the abyss. 130 new monsters, including Grail Beast Knights, Chaos Servants, demons, and Stranger Things. Treasures and curses. 182 new magic items, cursed loot, carousing, and 1,000 mutation tables. This is a big, thick boy. I am very excited about this. Taylor is an absolutely brilliant creator. And obviously these two guys working together, and they're clearly able to feed off and work off each other's works. So you can also add on a bunch of one-shot dungeons, which I did. I have a thing for one-shot dungeons and short adventures lately. I'm just having a lot of fun with them because you can essentially plug them in anywhere. And as you can see, he's going through a flip through of what they are. And some of these are quite big, and they're all quite different. So you can plug these into any game and any setting. Fulfillment, it's going to be done through drive-through, print-on-demand stuff here. So yeah, guys, please check this out. These guys definitely deserve more eyes on their stuff. And yeah, I'm very excited for it. Like I said, I backed at the Crawling Deep plus the 10 one-shot dungeon stuff. So there's 2 awards levels. You have your PDF and the print-on-demand version, and then you have your PDF, print-on-demand, and your 10 one-shot dungeon stuff. So it's pretty straightforward. So another one we're going to look at. This is going to be the last one in the RPG section before we jump onto the STLs and 3D printing stuff. So we have Choir of Flesh. Now I interviewed Alex T, the creator behind this, there the other week. So if you guys, I'm going to link in the description where you can find this as well if you want to check it out. We go over the PDF as well he sent me. I backed this. I ended up getting the print-on-demand version. You can get the like a really fancy book version as well, which is gonna be amazing. I was planning on getting that, And then I was looking at all the stuff that's actually coming out in October, and I was like, damn, I'm not going to be able to get that without not getting some of the other stuff as well. That would have included Crawling Deep and some other stuff like that. So that was kind of a bit annoying, but this is awesome. So basically, this whole game takes place in 1000 AD France. Of course, you can change the setting, you can move it on, you can travel off to other locations. That's going to be up to you guys. So basically, few things happen in this world. We basically had the choir that song, and it caused the mutation of most people in the world. They turned into monsters and beasts. Some of them just became twisted versions of humans. Some of them just became absolute, just disgusting, evil monsters, evil creatures. That's the best way I can put it. So again, if you want to get more, you can watch my interview with Alex. Like I said here, it talks about the Twin Apocalypse, core mechanics. Again, it's going to be a D20 type system. It's going to be it's similar to some of his other D20 games. It's going to be building off that sort of stuff. You're going to have your simple character creation. You're going to start off with single feat. You can add more, but you have to put on the drawbacks, like we said in the interview with him. Settlement management, which is going to be really interesting. So you need a stronghold, essentially. Your settlement is going to be a stronghold where other people come who have survived, not turned into these horrible creatures and monsters. But then you're going to have other people that come across who maybe want to worship these monstrous creatures. You then want to bring ruin and destruction onto your city, your town, whatever the size it end up being. So that's interesting. Obviously, you get monster attacks as well. Magic in this works essentially by using the choir at some level, and that can cause corruption, which can mutate you, which is really interesting. So it says the risk reward sort of stuff, and the more powerful the spell, the more corruption it's going to be. And there's ways to lose corruption as well, which is good. It's going to be tactical combat. It's great for using minis if you want to use that. Again, when we talk about mini play, you can use like erasers and pencil sharpeners. You can use actual minis of any kind you have. You can use poker chips. You can use pieces of paper with smiley faces on them. You know, it's all up to you guys how to do it. It has solo and co-op, which is really good. So you can play like a normal, like me. 3 of my buddies can get together, 4 of my buddies, 5 of them, no problem. Or I can just play by myself. So that is awesome. Again, I'll link the interview. You can check it out. We go into way more detail. And you can see here. Yeah, you go. And it talks about like the farm, the management and the size of the population and what it means, how many structures you can have, and all that stuff. Because the thing is, well, you have to find resources. To find resources, you have to explore the world. And that also involves going to these sort of like dangerous areas, which is essentially the only way to get stuff. Well, that's where all the monsters and stuff are. It's absolutely brilliant. The art style is brilliant. I do not know how he comes with all this stuff. But yeah, that's going to finish up on the RPG section. Now, we're going to be checking out the STL section. So, again, you guys, if you're not into 3D printing or STLs, this is not for you. But if you are, and you're like me, I love all this stuff. I have my resin 3D printer. I've been printing since 2020. Yeah, so let's get into this one. Now, this one is by Daka Store, I should say. I have been a Patreon member of Daka Store for years now. I can't remember how long, but the first time I got any of your stuff, one of the first models was this giant Hive Lord, which was amazing. So this one is definitely more inspired by Trench Crusade stuff. So if you were into Trench Crusade, this is going to fit perfectly. But of course, it is not just that. You can use it in your Warhammer games, your one-page rule stuff. I like one-page rules. I think it's great. And you can see some of the models here. They look absolutely brilliant. They have the music section here you can play on your Spotify, and it has the core set, the red Jurzari, It's a build kit, 30 different types of weapons, 11 bodies, 10 heads. And, you know, they do a lot of modular kit stuff, or semi-modular kit, which I love. And oftentimes you will find, like it has here, pre-assembled models. So if you don't want to start picking and choosing and gluing stuff, don't worry. You can just grab the pre-assembled guys. There you go. There's your warband. Don't need to worry about it. But if you're like me, you like the mix and match stuff, you know, that's what we're going to do. So we have the Holy Steel Battalion build kit. Again, you're going to have pre-built as well, 11 pre-built models. Again, these are going to be more heavy weapon guys. These look absolutely brilliant. So anyone doesn't know, Trans Crusades is sort of like weird, it's sort of like a World War One setting, where decades, 100 years ago, these demons became real, or came into our world, and there's been this ongoing struggle of good and evil. Basically, that's the best way to put it. Then we have these giant, totally not Terminator style creatures, or models to say. 1 head, 3 bodies, 3 legs, 12 weapons, including shields. Again, you have your pre-assembled guys as well. If you're the talent, different weapon options here. 17, ooh, wow. Sheik Monk. Yeah, there is a lot in here. And for the price, it is an absolute steal. And we have a bunch of milestones, which is basically stretch goals. They have one unlocked here. I don't know what the price is they've actually... So there's still 11 days left, and they're at $37,000 or €32,000. Yeah, so they're nearly at the second stretch goal. This is the thing about stretch goals, is you never really know what is gonna be hitting well, because I think they've had Kickstarters got over or close to 100,000, and other ones which done 20. But the quality in their stuff is amazing. Like I said, I've been a backer for a long time, and here's some add-ons you can get. There's another sort of Trench Crusade sort of theme thing, and the buildings as well. Now they do a lot of Warhammer style, one-page rule style stuff, which, you know, I'm a big fan of. I used to play a lot of Warhammer. I stopped over the years, and then I started doing a lot of one-page rule stuff. And they have actual physical stuff, which I didn't realize. So you can actually get physical models if you don't have a 3D printer. So that's cool. I did not realize that. And this is like fan painted miniatures, I think. Or some of their company guys painted them. As you can see, the details in these are amazing. Again, you just get your settings in perfect, and there you go. And here's the team. Here's some actual fan stuff. Yeah, I am a big fan of these guys. Like I said, I've been backing pretty much all of their Kickstarters. They've done 18. I think I've backed 15 or 16 of them, something like that. So, you know, again, the stuff I show off on the channel, it's stuff I like, stuff I've looked at before or have played, and if I haven't, again, it's because I like it and I think it's good. Now, my next one I'm going to be looking at is on my mini factory, and this isn't technically like a Kickstarter or anything like that. This is going to be their tribe. This is essentially their version of Patreon, which is brilliant, and it's going to be about Batman. This is the Batman miniature game. Now, we're going to have a look down through this, and I am a big fan of this game, and if you don't believe me, don't worry, I'm going to show you how much of a fan I am. I have a bunch of Batman miniature game stuff. I have been playing this game on and off since 2019, 2020. The reason why it's on and off is because I had limited space and I had to put a load of my wargaming stuff away. But I will show on video some of a small amount of the massive collection of the Batman minigame stuff I have. So you have a bunch of tiers here. So I jumped on the God and Watcher tier, which is basically this whole month until October 1st. So what's today's date? So on the 30th, this ends. 30th of this month, this ends. So if you jump on the God and Watcher, this is basically free. The whole month is free, and we're going to go over what you're going to get. All these are going to be, you have the early bird version as well, which you're going to get more stuff. But if you jump on this, you're going to get it for free. You're going to get the base rule games and a bunch of stuff. I'm going to show you what these are. So this is the Gotham Watcher tier, the first tier I actually jumped on, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the September Welcome Pack bonus, which includes 2 full crews. Now this is a skirmish type game. Scenery, this is going to be PDF scenery you can print off. Rulebook, again, PDFs, cards, PDFs, bases, which are going to be STLs, I believe, and tokens, which are going to be PDFs as well. A new crew is going to be added every month in STL format, and you're going to have every 4 months you're going to have a loyalty model. These models are insanely beautiful. Again, I'll show it on camera what some of the stuff I have, and actually some of the stuff I got recently. So it's still wrapped up, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. So Gotham Watcher, you're going to get Batman Gotham City Knight model. You're going to get Tim Drake, B-Cop, Homicide Detective, Lucius Fox, Damian Wayne, Renee Montana, Reinforcement Cop, Batman King. This is going to be kind of like one of the loyal models you will get later on. They started doing these really fancy models, these big set piece models there a couple of years ago. Now these are now moved into STLs. I do have some of the DC Universe stuff. They actually done a campaign on my manufacturing. I got that. It's cool as hell. I just love their models. They are beautiful. They're highly detailed. The resin models I have are great. You have the Joker Explosive Arrival, Harley Quinn and her Hyena, Killer Croc Tug, Torgon, again another Killer Croc guy, I think. Oh, it's a Joker guy. Axe Clown, Barrel Clown, Chainsaw Clown, Blunderbuss Clown, Slingy Clown, and we have Joker, Gotham King. And here's sort of like the PDF scenery stuff we have and the rules. Now, here's the Gotham Lord. You have a lot of the same stuff here, but then you have some extra models here, like Aaron Cash, Peacemaker, the Eagle, Batgirl, some SWAT guys. So you do get more content for sure. Harley Quinn, the Hyenas, Condiment King, Killer Moth. I love these guys. Again, when we talk about the Batman minigame, they cover everything. How this works is you're going to be assembling a crew. Okay, your crew is going to be, example, you will have a crew of the Bat family, so everyone related to Batman. You're going to have like Falcone guys, you're going to have the Penguin guys, you're going to have Joker guys, Mr. Freeze, and like you have guys like Condiment King and Killer Moth. I believe they're classified as unknown. I think that's the term they use. I can't remember top of my head. I haven't played this in about a year, sadly. Just like I said, I haven't had the space to play. And there is an app where you can create your teams on your phone. You add equipment and stuff like that, and you set a point level, so your teams are going to be matched, and then it's going to be down to like capturing tokens for like clues, uncovering stuff. I think there's time bomb defusals, defeating other opponents and stuff like that. It's really fun. It's really cool. I love it. Again, I'm a big fan. I have 2 massive boxes of stuff. A load of stuff I've painted. Sadly, most of my painted stuff is in the attic. Like I said, I had to put stuff away to make room. Once we move, I'll have all that stuff out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show off just a small, very small selection of what I actually own from this game. So if you guys give me 1 second, and I'll see you again now in a minute. So yeah guys, so I'm going to show off a small amount of my collection. Here's 2 sets of models I got there not too long ago. So this is, see, they're still wrapped. So again, I am a fan. Like I said, I have 2 big boxes full of stuff, and I mean they're big. I must have, let me think. So we have these blister packs as well, okay? Some of these only have 1, 2 or 3 models in them. This is Catwoman. This is from the 3rd edition stuff, because they had the 1st, 2nd and 3rd edition stuff. This is the 3rd edition, and I have to say, again, I'll probably throw some of these models up now in a sec, actually. Give me 1 minute. I have a couple here as well. These are ones I have unboxed. This is Jason Todd, KGB Beast, and we have Deathstroke. Now, this Deathstroke is actually a DC Universe mini as well as a Batman mini. I think this one might be older, might be second edition. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But all the editions, all the old models, still have stats in the third edition, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. I have a ton of second edition stuff. I think I must have maybe 40 or 50 of these blister packs. Sadly, most of them are in the attic. I do have one box full of stuff. We have Bane Unleashed here. We have Pain and Money. This is the Organized Crime set. Yeah. So we have a bunch of like Victor Zaz. He's like this crazy lunatic guy, and a bunch of other crime syndicate guys essentially. I'll in a minute open up the Bane Unleashed one, and we have just a look at the quality of the minis so you can see. But this is the Batman Back to Gotham set. They did have a version in, I think it was 2021 or 2022, which was off the Batman movie that came out at the time. You can still get that. I'm not sure if this one is still available. I actually have two versions. I actually have two of these. So I got the original myself. I got the Jim Gordon add-on with it, because when I got pre-order. So when this came out, there was this set that pre-order together. You get one where you get this box set, you can get Jim Gordon, or you get one with the Joker, some other like add-ons, like little tokens, resin tokens and stuff like that. It was really cool. This is the one my girlfriend, who is now my fiance, she bought this for me as a present, but she didn't realize I had this already. So it's always good to have extras. So we'll have a quick look what you get in this. So like I said before, when I talk about stuff, it's because I liked it. I like them. I've like RPG games. I do not review anything until I actually have it in hand, and I've played it. Same with this sort of stuff. I'm looking at it because I like it. Same with the Daka store. I'm looking at it because I'm a Patreon member for years. High quality stuff and all these things. So you're going to get a bunch of minis in here. Different crews. You have basically your Batman crew. You're going to have Batman. It's going to have some police officers. And then over here you're going to have a bunch of clowns and Harley. So yeah, you then have your card sets. You're going to have cards for the characters. You're going to have cards for basically actions they can do. Some of them are going to be only for one crew, like they're going to be just for the Batman, just for Joker crew stuff. I believe there's several sort of like ones that can be used by anyone. Like we have Catwoman here. See how it has Unknown here? You see that? Yep, Unknown. She can be used in any crew. She can be on the good guys and the bad guy side. You don't have her with the Joker or with Mr. Freeze or with Batman. So it's the app they have is brilliant in how it works. You can create your own crew very easily. Like I said, this is my second box of this. I do believe everything in here is basically untouched because I do have my my one I've actually played with and painted. So yeah, it's still wrapped up, guys. This must be like this for a few years now. But yeah, here's some of the cards. You have the Batman, Harvey Bullock, CBD Detective, and they all have images, and they're all color images, and you can tell what they are, so you can pick them up, no problem. Deadshot. But yeah, a bunch of stuff in here. They give you some dice. The cards are also going to be. I think I did open this up actually, but I didn't paint everything because I already have a set. These are going to be your type of missions you're going to play. You're going to be your setup for everything, and these are going to be your action cards essentially that you can use throughout the game. You can see some of them are for Batman only, Batman's crew, bat symbol. Some of these are going to be neutral. Then we go down a bunch of Batman, character specific class cards, I think, action cards, and Joker stuff. You can tell by the ha now. So yeah, so I am a big fan of this. I haven't played this in a while because I just don't have the space, sadly. Now these are all resin models, not 3D printed resin, but actual normal sort of resin. So if you want to get onto 3D printing stuff, it's going to be much more together. But yeah, there's a little bit of cleanup on these old resin, not old resin models, but these resin models. They're super detailed. They are amazing. Yeah, I'll get the Catwoman. Actually, you'll see a lot better because it's pretty much the model itself is more whole from what I remember. But yeah, I'm so glad these guys have STL stuff. I have their what do you call it? Their DC Universe stuff. Again, I already have a bunch of DC Universe models as well. I have the Green Lantern core, the Yellow Lantern core. I think I have the Red Lantern core as well. And these are like physical, not just the STL stuff. So here's the Catwoman card. So you can see how many rep points she takes up, her rival, or her rank, I mean. Her rival, who she can join up with. And then here's her actual card she has in the game you can use. And here is the actor model. Now these models are quite small, but they're like perfectly proportioned. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Like, they look amazing. The detail in them is amazing. These are some of the most well sculpted models you will find. Again, these are like mold injected resin. So you can get that focus. There you go. It is beautiful. So yeah, again, I like to try and show that I'm a fan of things when I show things off. But I think that's going to be it for the video, guys. Again, thank you for checking this out. It's super cool. And remember, there's a bunch of Kickstarter stuff you can check out. I will leave a link in the description where you can find everything. Everything I showed is stuff I have backed or will be backing if it's not out yet. So again, I like to show off stuff I currently am getting or trying to get or waiting for it to come out. And as well with the STLs, I've backed that as well. And I joined up on a membership for the Batman minigame STLs. Oh yeah, we have Bane. We'll do this quickly. Again, I got this a couple weeks ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Bane Unleashed. This came out a couple of years ago. Some of these models can be hard to find now. And you see it has this amazing base topper. You have your standard base size thing here. It just goes on top. If you want to, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I do because it's awesome. There's lots of great, amazing painted detail, a lot of amazing detail you can paint on in there. And then we have Bane. As you can see, these are super detailed models. Now with these sort of resin stuff, there is a little bit of cleanup here and there, but in my experience, night models, when it comes to these mold injected resin, they have excellent cleanup. I've only ever had a handful of models where I had issues with, but I've had models from, and the models, the resin models that you get from the store are not expensive at all. And like what they are, they're quite cheap. They're based in Spain, so if you're a person who lives in Europe, it's quite affordable. I've had a couple models over the years where some things were missing from them, and all I did was I sent an email, showed a picture, and they shipped off the missing part without a problem, free of charge. Even ones where came from third-party stores, because I remember I got one or two sets from a store that was closing down, or it was from eBay and it was a closing down lot, something like that. Anyway, and there was a missing arm, and there was a double head of a different set. So I think it was the Dark Injustice set. It was like 3 models. So there one guy was missing a head. They gave me 2 heads of another guy, and I think it was an arm or leg was missing, one or the other. And I sent him a photo in the email, and they sent it out to me very quickly. So that was super awesome of them. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Remember, check out the everything I've showed off. If you like it, that's great. I hope you did. There's interviews and some videos with the stuff I've looked at already, so you can check them out for more details. And again, thank you for checking the videos. It's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute honor that people want to check these out. I'm blown away every time. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for everything, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, and goodbye.